Nothing. You can't pick the logo off the iWatch.
Wilco, get in here, on the double. You've got a mess to clean up in the shuttle we've just returned. One of the passengers got space sick on the way down. Besides, you should have been done out there an hour ago. Get a move on.
With that, the image disappears. You are whisked away to the airlock chamber. Stand by for decontamination. You open the only locker for which you have a combination. Phew! Putrid waves of stench waft forth. You can't recall the last cleaning it received. You bravely peer into the locker to find a Cubics Rube puzzle and your athletic supporter, which you take.
It's about time you got in here, Wilco. Head to the shuttle bay on the double. I'm warning you, you're on your last leg around here, bud. One more screw up and you're history. Bob, send Roger here directly to the shuttle bay and nowhere else until the job is completed. Do you hear that, Wilco? No napping in closets.
The technicians are seated in front of monitoring consoles. They look like your average crew types. These crew people are working hard. He's a balding man. Luminous veins stand in bold defiance to the planes of his temples. Funny, you think? He looked much healthier when you first came aboard. The official name of the transport tubes are the compulsory repeated activity pipes. Everybody just calls them spit tubes, though. This guy's name is Bob. You owe Bob money. This is the engineering control panel, developed by a huge mega conglomerate which was once only a small game company. The only thing you know about it is that you need to press up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, select, start, to give the engines a full power-up. It's the station's etheric beam locator. You have no idea what it's used for, but it sure does look fun. It's a large space metal door. This panel controls the door, the fuel pump, and the ship maintenance diagnostics, while the readout gives you feedback on what you're doing. Press the big button marked Shuttle Bay Door. It feels hot and the screen is turning green from the heat. This thing has seen better days. illustrations have captions underneath them. The top picture appears to depict laser beams, captioned with, "In the case of terrible enemy laser blasts." The middle picture is a house, captioned with, "You should have stayed at home and away from space." The bottom "No" symbol has a person laying down inside it. It is captioned, "No retirement benefits for you." The rocket nozzles on the back of the shuttle clearly show the wear of many flights. Nothing special about the hose, it merely provides a means of routing fuel from the refueler to the vessel. You enter the shuttle and start sniffing around for the mess you must clean. You are surprised to find that the shuttle is not empty. There are two extremely ugly suckers walking toward you.
Hey, what the? Your favorite expletive here.
Your protest is cut short as two interstellar ruffians proceed to thump you unconscious. Everything fades. Time passes. More time passes. A strange dream turns into the realization that you are being shaken and talked to by a voice unfamiliar to you. A dull ache triggers a distant memory of a scuffle in which you were the focal point. Upon awakening from your forced rest, it becomes quite apparent that you aren't in Kansas, Xenon anymore. You find that you are being held upright and under physical restraint from both sides by, you guess, the galactic goons you met on the shuttle. As you try to struggle free, you notice that your hands are tied behind your back. As your eyes dial into focus, you make out an oddly disfigured being seated before you. He is a sagging mass of flesh that appears to have been human at one time. Tubes and wires extend from his body, leading to machines which keep him alive.
Well, did we have a nice nap? I thought we would have to resort to drastic measures to wake you. Oh well. Welcome to my humble fortress, Roger Wilco. The name's Vohall. Sludge Vohall. I was the genius behind the star generator when it was in its concept stages. It was to be my ultimate war weapon until some sissy-man scientist decided it would be better used saving lives rather than destroying them. What a waste of technology. Excuse me if I sound bitter. Anyway, you ruined my Sarian operation. I was going to use the star generator to make Xenon pay for what they did to me. They were going to know my wrath in a big way. You somehow managed to change all that. Oh, I suppose I should have known better than to use those mental midget Sarians. That's not the point, however. You're responsible, and you shall pay. Besides, I have another plan, and you'll not be around to foil it. I have devised a plan so horrible, so frightening, so diabolical that no one will be able to stop me. Observe my latest creation. I intend to infest your planet with thousands of these genetically engineered door-to-door life insurance salesmen. I will at last reap sweet revenge from a scientific community that mocked me. My plan was to kill you, but I've had a change of heart. Get it?
He peers down at the hoses protruding from his chest, which are connected to a life support system.
Forgive me. I'm a kidder. I've decided I would get much more enjoyment watching you suffer. My associates will escort you to the wonderful little planet of Labion, where you will perform many painful hours of manual labor in my mines. Be seeing you.
An injection renders you unconscious. Your drugged carcass is loaded onto a shuttle. Upon reviving, you look through the viewing port to see Vohal's massive asteroid fortress getting smaller. After touching down on a giant landing platform, you are ushered to a hovercraft waiting to transport you to the mining site. Utter despair sets in.
Uh-oh. Ah, great. Now I suppose we're out of fuel. Way to go, dwarf breath. Don't blame me. It was your turn to fill up. You're always forgetting to do it. Wait till the master finds out. You're in big trouble. Hey, don't talk to me that way, you slime bucket. I filled it last time, dipshit.
The argument between the two guards is cut short as gravity reasserts itself. Good thing that guard broke your fall. He doesn't look too happy about it, though. The hovercraft has been reduced to a mound of twisted wreckage. Everything that was straight is bent. Everything that was bent is benter. There appear to be no salvageable parts. You hear a high-pitched beeping sound coming from somewhere inside the wreckage. You didn't notice it during the flight. It must have come on as a result of the crash. You carefully remove the piece of unstable ordnance and pocket it. Doing so causes the high-pitched beeping to stop.
For some reason, I got this sense of doom right before taking that. Ouch! That looks painful.
Please enter a longer name. The forest runs deep with the loneliness of untrodden territory and quiet surroundings. The guard appears to be less thick than you remember him. Many of his formerly contained body fluids seem to be at large. You search the grotesque body and find a small, thin, magnetic card. It looks like a key card. You seem to recall seeing one somewhere in the past.
What was that?
You startle a small creature. It could be a rabbit, but for its green fur and orange spots. The startled bunny has fallen into the formerly concealed pit. You peer into the hole and see the formerly alive bunny, now a mangled corpse, on the end of some large sharpened sticks. You reach into the deep dark hole and pull out the bunny. How the hell did you do that? That hole is obviously longer than your arm.
I guess realism isn't a concern here in the future. Ah!
You fall down the large and obvious pit in the ground. You might have survived the fall had you not come into contact with the several 30-centimeter long spikes planted vertically along the bottom of the pit. part appears to be less thick than you remember. You search. You startle a small. The startled bunny. You reach into the deep.
I guess realism isn't.
Holy jeez, boy. That mushroom thing sucked you clean up. You can't move a muscle nor see a speck of light. You begin feeling waves of tingling warmth and moisture. Suddenly, it's not so bad in here. Wow, check out the colors, dude. Your body and mind enjoyed the short-lived buzz that is a side effect of the lethal poison you now marinate in. You are oblivious to the end. Not a bad way to go, actually. But it sure is early in the game. I had high hopes for you. They said, who? Roger Wilco? Not a chance. That chump won't last 20 minutes. I said, no way. Roger isn't that lame. So anyway, don't make me look stupid too. You hear something. It sounds not unlike the hovercraft you erected. These odd trees grow increasingly smaller in diameter, tapering to a small point at the top. This tiny tree has not grown to nearly the height of its two brethren here, but these odd trees... Vohal's troops have tracked you down and passed sentence for your escape. Tough luck, eh? You hear something. It sounds not unlike the hovercraft you erected. Suddenly, from somewhere to the east, you hear a twang, followed by a high-pitched shriek. Woof, that was a tense moment. Vohal's thug failed to spot you, and is off to search elsewhere. The little creature caught in the snare has thick-looking pinkish skin. He looks to be less than a meter tall. He doesn't seem too thrilled with this predicament. The foliage here is much too dense for... The foliage... You quickly untie the little guy. Before disappearing through a tiny hole in the brush, the little pink dude gives you a long look.